What is up, everybody? Mr. McDirt here. We are coming at you with a Saints Row 5 wish list, or whatever they may call the game. We don't know yet. So, without further ado, let's jump into it. Alright, so before we start, let me just go ahead and show you peoples that Saints Row seems to be dying on YouTube, fellas. As you notice, the last video that anyone's put up is like well over a month ago. My video right down there, as you can see. But, yeah, so what I'm going to do is try to revive this hope that Volition's new game will be something special and memorable. So, right now, without any further interruptions, let's just go ahead and get into the wish list, alright? Number 5. Good combat. One thing that is an absolute must, well, I shouldn't say it's an absolute must, but I think it would overall improve the experience a little bit, is good combat. Whether it be gun combat or hand-to-hand combat. Saints Row 2 had a lot of MMA and different fighting styles. I think that is something that Volition could easily build upon. Like, for example, GTA 4 had a lot of martial arts based combat. If they can incorporate a martial arts based combat that's good, it looks good, and it's fun to play with, I think I would be extraordinarily happy with the game. I think that alone would really kind of boost the vibe for me, as long as they gave something to do with it. You know what I mean? Alright, now, number 4, the theme. The thing that has drastically changed every Saints Row game, and I don't even know why. So, we know the pattern with Saints Row 1 and 2 was gangster theme. Then, with Saints Row 3, it was kind of like, it's kind of like a high-end, famous criminal theme. I don't know what they were shooting for in Saints Row 3. And then Saints Row 4, it was President versus aliens, and then Get Out of Hell, and then, yeah, it just, you know where I'm going with this. I think if they're going to start a new IP, let's just assume that's what they're doing. They're starting a new IP. I mean, that's just an assumption. Anyway, I want them to keep that theme, like, as close to, I don't know, grounded reality as possible, but I want them to be consistent with it. And I think there can be a balance with realism and wackiness, as long as they don't overdo the wackiness, as long as they're not trying too hard. You know what I mean? If you do something serious, wacky will end up in there some way or another. But yeah, I miss the GTA alternative. It doesn't have to be exactly realistic, but I just kind of want something that kind of feels like a real vibe. Alright, number 3. This one is a big one. This is a big one. Alright, with number 3, we want RPG elements. If you've ever played Saints Row 2, it had a lot of those. You could be an MMA fighter. You could be a cop. You could be a you could do some demo derby. There was a lot you had to do. You could steal and sell cars. You could steal and work on cars. There was a lot to do as far as RPG goes in Saints Row 2. And I think that is something Volition could seriously build on and make one hell of a fucking game. They really could. If they really wanted to, they could dominate with just with a lot of RPG elements. Now that's also going to carry into number 2, various activities and side missions. This is in my opinion, this is second to the first biggest one. This kind of goes hand in hand with number 1, but we'll get to that in a second. Various side missions and activities in Saints Row 2. I'm using Saints Row 2 for a lot of examples. But it was a good template. But Saints Row 2 had the most to do out of any of the games. And I still, to this day, love playing Saints Row 2. Because it just had more than enough to do. You could rob gas stations. You could smoke. I mean, you down to buying and drinking buying and food and shit. And drinking and smoking. It was that in depth. It was very immersive. I think that is one thing that is a must for Volition in this next game, is immersion and things to do. Because that will really, that's the one that will determine whether this game is any good or not. The theme, the combat, but if the game has replay value and it has a lot to do, just where you can't get bored easily, that's where this game's really gonna sell. And finally, number one, the biggest one in my absolute opinion, would be customization. Customization always has been one of the biggest things about Saints Row that has made it just unique as an open world game. I think it kind of set the standard for open world games as far as customization. Because really, before Saints Row, I never really heard of an open world game having great customization. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I just never heard of a good one, a big mainstream one. I think this is something Volition has proven themselves talented in, and it's something that I think is an absolute must. If we were to build our own experiences, it needs to be as much creativity as absolute possible. Especially the character, the cars, the vehicles, the house, the clothing, the whatever there is to customize. I think customization is one of the biggest musts in the game, next to side missions and activities and immersion and all that stuff. But anyway, let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comment section below. I want to hear what you guys think, what you guys think should be in the game. And like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you're new to my channel. We are going to be following this project all the way through. We're going to make sure Volition does it right, man, because we know they have the potential. We need to see this game be something. Anyway, that's about all I have time for. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Without further ado, Mr. McDerp signing off. Peace.